had to come to a conclusion about what this video is about. It's just me being like, I had to part ways with a long-term friend and I'm depressed about it. Here's a brain dump, sorry. Hey, how are you doing? My name is Jen. I'm not gonna lie to you, things haven't been great recently. We've been struggling a little bit mentally, and one of the things people always say, right, is try journaling. But I'm a little bit too dyslexic for that to work out. So we're trying video journaling instead. Yay! I kind of feel really awkward right now because I'm like sat in public doing this, but I figured, you know, I might as well just be somewhere nice that's not my bedroom, which is currently giving depression room. This is supposed to be kind of like journaling, but like in video format. So although I did prepare like a few thoughts and stuff, it's very messy. Yeah, let's get into it. I'm not sure if this is something I'm gonna do regularly, or even if this is gonna help. If you're watching this, I guess it means it's helped, right? First, I wanted to talk about the major thing that's been messing me about recently, which is friendships, or the lack thereof. So if you know me IRL, you kind of already know why I've been feeling a little bit not like myself recently. But for the benefit of those who do not, recently a long-term friendship of mine has fallen apart is the wrong words. I have come to the realization, or rather life has forced me to come to terms with the fact that we have grown apart, we are no longer compatible, and we are hurting each other. Even though we love and respect each other, because we're not right for each other in this stage of our life, we are causing each other pain, and that's not what friendships are about. I'm an embarrassingly bad judge of character, and as a result I have had some questionable friendship choices over the past few years, and those friendships have led to some very painful breakups. And although I've not been through a romantic breakup, friendship breakups have broken me a few times. And although this is not a friendship breakup, it's more like going on a break. Hopefully we can reconnect later in life. It feels like a breakup. But to be honest, you know, those friendship breakups were kind of like, I mean, they weren't easy to get over. Obviously they hurt a lot, but I could get over them easier compared to this one because, and I know this is bad, do not do this at home, but by villainizing them, oh, they did me wrong, or they did me dirty, or they didn't care about me, blah, 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 blah. It's easy to just other them and be like, you're not a good person, you know? Whether or not that was the right thing to do, whether or not that is the healthy way to do it, is how I got through it. This time I cannot do that. We have had sensible adult conversations, and we hopefully can be friends in the future once we have managed to realign ourselves again as people, and once we can add good and positive things into each other's lives. But that has made this very difficult for me to deal with. Boundaries is something that people talk about a lot these days, right? And it's not really something that we grew up hearing, and so our generation is having to learn how to do them as adults, right? So of course we're all infants when it comes to boundaries, so they're awkward and they're uncomfortable, and you feel like, I don't know, can I say this? Is this mean? I love myself and I want to do this, or I love myself and so I don't want to do this. How do I nicely, politely, sensitively say, no, this is my hard line, right? That's the really hard part. For that exact reason, I have really been struggling with feeling like a bad person. Don't misunderstand. I'm not villainizing anybody else. I'm just saying that enforcing my boundaries has been going in like conflict with what I thought made a nice or good person. Enforcing boundaries is hard, and we're all new at it, right? And so from me to me and me to you, enforcing your boundaries doesn't make you a bad person. As long as you try to go about it in the nicest, most sensitive way possible for the other parties, you've done your best, and that makes you a good person, okay? Jenny, you too. But also, it's important to know that if somebody is making you feel like you're being the strange one, or if they say you're being sensitive or too emotional, that's manipulation. This is me to me right now, me to Jenny. That's manipulation. Don't let somebody do that. That is so wrong and so bad. We don't stand for that. Good. Wait, let me check. What else did I write? You know, actually writing these notes, I got really, really sad, and it kind of ruined my day. But I'm really glad that I did, because it's made it easier for me to talk about it now. Maybe this is like a hybrid journaling way for me to do this. You know, they say that noticing, realizing things are half the battle, but they don't tell you that that's the easy half of the battle. It's the stuff that comes after that's the hard part, like spotting manipulation, spotting a friendship that's not serving you anymore. You might be like me and like make excuses for the other person, right? Once you've identified that, actually taking action is scary. As somebody with a very anxious attachment style, a lot of my childhood trauma stems from friendships or the lack thereof. So friendships have been one of the most defining parts of my life up till now, I think. Random hobbies and obsessions aside. But honestly, like noticing things in those friendships, yeah, it took me a minute to get the hang of it, but like once you get the hang of it, it's kind of like you know, once your friend starts telling you about who they're meeting and you're like, oh, that's a red flag, oh, that's a red flag, oh, doesn't even like, you don't even think about it, right? You start to do that with friendships too. And what the hell is going on up here? Sorry, we're on day like 3 with this hair, I think. Should I put a cap on? Anyway, but it's easy to make excuses, right? Especially when you're not ready for this friendship to be done. Or you don't feel comfortable enough to, or have the conversation or whatever. But honestly, and I'm saying this as the person in the difficult situation right now, in the uncomfortable, in the depression and in the sadness of having to deal with upfront addressing with that, I know I'm going to be better off in the long run. I know this is easy for me to say because I'm talking to a camera and I'm sat in 30-degree heat in Seoul drinking like a vanilla latte, but the me who's editing this is having a hard time. The me who's going to watch this video back is having a hard time. And the you who's watching this, hopefully you're not having a hard time, but if you are, I need you to hold on to the fact that it really it does go away and it does get better. Time and distance, that's all you need. And you need to stand up for yourself to get those things. Because right now you're hurting, right now you're processing, right now you have a raw, gaping, open wound. You need to give yourself time for that wound to heal. And okay, yeah, you have a scar, but like, now you learn something. I know I just said that and I know that's true, but that makes me feel no better. When somebody says that to me, I'm just like, okay, and do you know how many friendship breakups I've been through to get to this point, and I'm still having to go through them and I'm still having to learn? It's exhausting. But if you're not willing to settle and you want to stand up for yourself and your boundaries, then is this something we just have to learn to accept? I don't know, to be honest. Tell you what I do know though, if that friendship is draining you, it's not a friendship. Because friendships work both ways. Friendship works equally for both people in the long run, whatever your long run is. For me, it's about a couple months max. If I'm having a hard time, it's like today. It's today. It's this conversation. Wow, this has been really, this has kind of been a little bit empowering. I can be very socially anxious. I really struggle with getting my phone out to film in public because I feel like people are judging me. But this hasn't been too bad. People have been walking past and I just filmed. I'm kind of proud of myself. Good job me, good job me. But like, for you guys too, how do you deal with these situations? Because I'm not gonna lie, it's really difficult. Sometimes I will wake up at like 8 a.m. and I'll still be doom scrolling on my phone at 1 p.m. I know you can be like, oh Jen, you can set those time limit things. Yeah, I set those. But you know what? You can override them. You say, remind me in 5 minutes. I just keep pressing that and it's like, it doesn't register. Okay, you could say the solution is deleting my apps, fair. But that doesn't take away from the fact that that is a symptom of a bigger issue. And I'm not really sure right now how to resolve that issue, because I will be the first one to say, give yourself time, give yourself space. There's nothing that heals a wound, that heals a broken heart like time and space. I'm in a situation where I can have neither time nor space. My anxieties around this are really high. It has been ruining this past month of my life, and I found it impossible to do anything by myself, apart from like brush my teeth, which is no small achievement when you're having a hard time. And you have depression Debbie and anxiety Anna on either shoulder being like, do you guys do that? It was one of the techniques that my therapist taught me back when I was in uni. She taught me to like other my depression and other my anxiety. So I see them as like little annoying dolls sat on my shoulder and they just like yell at me. And depression is called Debbie and anxiety is called Anna, and they just like in my ear. Yeah, right now they're really loud. They're really loud. and they're turning me into such a negative Nancy. I want to be positive and optimistic and putting good vibes out there, but I don't have it in me sometimes. I do rely on those around me as much as I can, and obviously like when I'm at work, the kids are just adorable or infuriating and annoying, so I can just leave it at the door. I don't have to worry about it, right? But my house, I know I'm having a really hard time right now, because my old red flags are showing. Another thing my therapist taught me was to recognize the rungs of the ladder for when I'm getting depressed or when depression starts knocking again. Because there's obviously different ways to approach that, right? Like if I'm just having a mild depressive episode, or if I'm just luteal phasing, then a simple inside day and a C-drama binge is more than enough. But if it's a little bit more than that, then maybe I need to talk to my best friend and ask her for a little bit more love and attention over the next few days to help me feel better. But right now we're at the point where I feel like no matter how much time and space I give myself, no matter how much love and affection I receive from others, nothing is helping me. So if you would please in the comments give some advice, I would be greatly appreciative. Thank you. I'm not asking for sympathy or anything like that. I have practical solutions, please. Because what we're not doing is being depressed at 28. Let me see, is there anything else I missed? The right people for you won't make you feel like a bad person. Because even if it's unintentional on their behalf, right? If somebody is making you feel gaslit and is not hearing you when you're telling them something, and you walk away from that conversation and you don't feel good about yourself, that's not the relationship for you. That's not it. My coffee is nearly almost done, so I guess that is my sign that I've been talking for far too long. I think you can tell that I'm in a much better mood now than when I started this video, which shows that this was effective, so that's great. Thank you to everybody who has been making video journals for opening my eyes to this amazing way of blundering through your own feelings. It's great, I love it. If you are interested, whoa, that was a huge fly, did you see it? It was anyway, if you would like to see more videos like this, please let me know, because this is actually really helpful for me. And I would actually quite enjoy filming another one. There is plenty more for me to say, because I'm actually quite the chatterbox once you get to know me. I think me and my day 3 hair are going to wrap it up here, but if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I was serious, by the way, in the comments. Please let me know your tips for how I can deal with this situation, because I don't know. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, by the way. And I will see you around. Hopefully I can get myself together and upload more, because YouTube is something I really want to do this year. Okay, bye. I have no pleasure to introduce today, sorry. Bye.